Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam.
Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham.
Jai Ho.
Srila Gurudev ki
Jai.
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupan Gauri Guru Bharata ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Raman Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Sudevi, can you turn on that light in there and off this one? Thank you.
It's a lot of work. Sorry.
No. No. Yeah. Radhe Radhe.
Is this on the network or is it on? Okay.
So, we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaisnava.
Dandavat Pranam.
Nandini Govindarupini Didi Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam.
Whoever else is there that I can't see.
Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudacham Adaya Madhurya Gunashcha Yuktam Param Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirasam Namami Trigandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Shri Krishna Padajnitaika Vindi Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasara Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapante Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Neme Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Presthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Niti Namine Bhakti Madhya Charitra दुष्कृतानाञ्चपालिने जीवान्मुखे सदर्पाय श्रीराम प्रेमदायिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवैष्णवानुदिने दयिताय कृपाभये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानं दयिने ब्रह्मवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणि श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगन्धिनुधापो सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसम्बोधे पदं मुञ्चायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगम्बरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णवः सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महागणन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्रिषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतोपङ्गो मम मन्दं मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीरगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठानिधिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भे वंशिवततस्थितः कार्षण्येनुस्मरे गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा भावं निर्वाणम् रतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Vandava pranama Vaishnava.
Vandava pranam, dear Vaishnavas.
Gurudev Kripa Karke, page 360. Can you send the bottle of water over here, please?
Sure.
It's behind you. Sorry. Thank you.
Sure.
Many years ago, I think it was maybe around the year 2002, we made an English version of the general tune for Gurudev Kripa Karke, and we recently found it in a box of old cassettes. And because we had made it for Srila Gurudev, when we started playing it, we both started crying because it was sweet. Maybe one day we'll share it with you.
Actually, it was for a devotee who couldn't sing and understand the Bengali and Sanskrit and Hindi bhajans, and she was just like, I want to know the meaning of this. I want to remember it, even though I'll sing the Hindi. And so she asked Kishori, can you make a version for me so that I know what the purport is? And so Kishori did it. He recorded it for her. He made it into
multi-track.
He did a poetry thing, and then he gave it to her. And then the next time Gurudev came to England and visited their house, the first question he asked her, we sang this kirtan, and he said, what is the meaning of this?
Do you know the meaning, right?
Do you know the meaning? What is the meaning of this kirtan? And she was holding the songbook in her hand, and she just closed it. And in poetry form, she began to recite what she had memorized. And Gurudev was laughing and so pleased. It was almost like, it was planned.
Mm-hmm. But Gurudev knew that she knew it. And he just said, do you know the meaning? Boom, she closed her book, put it down, and as a baby would do to make their father
Sing
proud.
The first line.
I'll play it with a harmonium, so hold on. So it's Gurudev, be merciful to me. Gurudev, please accept me as your own. I have taken shelter of you.
So give me the strength that your lotus feet.
Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Like that, something like that. But it was with Western instruments. But we're not singing that tune now. So. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
That was asked for, by the way.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Gurudeva Kripa Karke मुझको अपना देना परंपरा की जय। एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई। I don't know what page that is. Page 44. Ebara Kurunakaro Vaishnava Gosai. If you do not have a songbook, then you must follow Jiva Pavana Prabhu. See where he posts his most recent comment. Follow that, and you will find that he has posted the bhajan along with the translation and sometimes, very often, beautiful commentaries of the Vaishnavas. So thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for that beautiful seva. Ebaru karuna karo Vaishnava Gosai.
Gandharva Samprarthanashtakam.
It is. Later. Thank you. So when I sing this bhajan, for me, two remembrances come. Of course, one with Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj, because I was singing this bhajan the first time I saw him, when he walked out and he actually asked me to speak on this bhajan, and then he gave further explanation. And another time, with Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he was teaching us how to sing this bhajan and also Jayanilo Prema Dhana Karuna Prachur, because they have the same tune, at least when we sing in that tune. And when we came to the end of that bhajan, there's different ways that the devotees sing it, and Srila Gurudev wanted it a particular way. And so many of you may recognize Prati Janme Kori Asha Charanera Dhuli, right? They hold on the U there. Or Charanera Dhuli, like that. But Srila Gurudev wanted it Kori Asha Charanera Dhuli. And he was actually saying like this. And he sang it in the microphone and then wanted us to repeat it until we understood it. So he wanted us to hold on like the next line. Narotame korodoya apanara boli. Narotame korodoya apanaro boli. So apanara boli. And there's subtle differences, but for the ears of Gurudev, for the ears of the Vaisnava, this is something that can make a difference, apparently. If we're singing it one way or another way, in one sense it doesn't make a difference, but they always want us to improve in the quality of our seva. So in one sense we can say, yes, if there's love and affection, then Krishna will accept it. But the nature of love and affection is that one always tries to improve the quality of their seva.
The camera is going in and out so much that we've even got a comment that it's quite psychedelic.
Does anyone there know how to stop a Samsung camera from doing that on Facebook Live? If you could please post it to me, because it's...
We've been trying
yeah,
to
I think Facebook Live doesn't allow you to lock the focus. And so I haven't found anything. I've done some research, but maybe some of you are very smart with all this stuff and you can share with us how to fix that problem. Maybe if you turn on this light here, it might make it better.
We were trying to go with Jiva Pavana's mood from the other day. He was saying how nice it looked and Thakurji was, but maybe it changed that.
Generally they say if you have like proper lighting, then it doesn't do that so much. So we've had low lighting. I can definitely see my book better. So I was making the point that if all we know how to make is oatmeal cereal, and we do that with love, and we offer that to Krishna, that is acceptable to him. If we're 7 or 10, but if we've developed our service ability, and we can make all kinds of beautiful things and offer it with affection to Krishna, and we only go back to offering that, then it is actually undoing the nature of seva. So always to improve in the quality of our seva. And also, who are we singing for? This is calling out to the Vaishnavas. And so when we're calling out, we should also be trying to call out in a way that's pleasing to them. That means we're always in the mood of learning. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, perpetual tutelage on the part of the disciple. Forever. We're always learning, always evolving, always improving the quality of our seva. And so Srila Gurudev was teaching us, like a school teacher, like this. And we didn't do it right the first time, and he said like this again, and then he would tell us. And we didn't get it right the second time. Then the third time we kind of got it right, and he was like, okay. But it was quite an impression how he was trying to teach us how to sing it, so that it would be pleasing to Guru and Vaishnavas. And ultimately that will be pleasing to Krishna. Gurudev said, to try is bhakti. So if at first we don't succeed, try and try again, and again and again, to increase, to improve the quality, the nature of our seva, and also especially to develop the intention or the mood behind it. So if the mood is to please, maybe we don't have such a capacity, but if we make that endeavor to please Guru, Vaishnavas, Gauranga and Radha and Krishna, then that will be acceptable by them. So again, Charanera dhuli apanaro boli. Let me do that again because I messed it up. Apanaro boli. Like that. When you're singing it in the, what we call 2-beat or the dvital, when the kartals are going 1, 2, 1, 2, then you don't run into that difficulty, only when you're doing it in the 3-beat or a 4/4 beat. Okay. Sri Rupa Manjaripada, page 50. 50.
Maybe the light behind you, just turn it off.
Is that better?
Let me just focus it on you. Okay, now move. Is that better? I think it's better.
Shri Rupa Goswamipada ki jai.
No, it's still doing. Sorry, which one?
Sri Rupa Manjaripada, page 50. Shri Rupa Manjaripada Se Mora Sampada
देह मोरे पद छाया
Page 61. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani.
Switching off the lamp helped.
Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nitai Gunamani Amar Nitai Aniya premero banja bhashayo yamani शूलिया से आत्मघाती हो कबे आहा गौरांग बोलिया पेज 80 कबे आहा गौरांग बोलिया Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki
Jai.
Now every time I look up at the clock, I remember who wrote that yesterday? Champak. Somebody said we need to get rid of the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the bhajan they asked us to sing? That comes after. Okay. Shrita Kamala Kucha Mandala Drita Kundala A. That is page 352. Shrita Kamala Kuchamandala 352 Sri Mangala Gitam. Jaya Radhe Krishna Govinda Gopal Nanda Dulalo Jai Jashoda Dulalo Jayo Jayo Deva Hare Radhe Krishna
Because it looks like that's for the internet, right? Mm-hmm. So here it seems steady and there it's okay, but I was just really watching it because it looked like it's maybe having trouble.
It's probably just too much going on at once from the same.
Right.
Vrindavane Viharator Vihake Kunje.
Page 275.
Two 275.
Didi said there's no problems.
Okay.
It's just, did you see it continuously spinning?
Yeah.
That's why I was worried.
1 minute. Let's see if we can do this. Because we're taking too much bandwidth from one. Where is it? There it is.
Do you have that long thing on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's called a tampura.
The tampura.
But you can call it what you like. Okay, I'm just going to put it here so we can see if we're still online or not. All right. And Sudevi. Great.
Good?
No, I'm just making sure that there's no sound coming through. Now I have to just check and make sure your page is working here. There we are. Sorry.
Sorry. We just need to... It was taking too much from this side. So. Do you need that?
Probably not on this one. Forgot what it's called anyway.
Anyway, don't worry about it. It's fine with the harmonium.
There it is. Okay.
So this is done in more of a mantra form, not with kartal or mridanga. Obviously, no mridanga.
Definitely not that. Sorry. Peace. Okay. All together, page 275. Vrindavane viharato vihake kunje martadvipa pravaraku tukavibhramena sandarshaya swayugayo Sundara Kamarishva
Ashtakam. We never do it. So. Well, actually once I wanted to do this for our Gurudev because he used to chant the Ha Devi Kaku, but he used to chant that in his Mangala Charana, the second verse. And I thought, oh, how nice it would be to all do it as an ashtakam for him. And then he said, every day I sing this as part of my daily sadhan, my bhajan. He said, every day this is included in my bhajan, this prayer, this ashtakam. So you brought that remembrance. Thank you.
Some repetitive stress from pumping the harmonium for 7 months, so I have to switch it up with the mridanga. Okay, 1, 2.
It doesn't matter if I can't follow, I'll just stop.
Sorry. Okay. G. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tadbhaktāya Namo Namah Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giring Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandava Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So now I think it's a little bit getting late already. So we will continue going beyond Vaikuntha together, as we have a few pages left before Kartik begins. And already we spoke some things during some of the bhajans. So before entering into this beautiful transcendental treasure, which is like an unfathomable ocean of nectar, we will pray in the dust of the lotus feet of the commentator, our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and the original compiler or manifester, Sri Sanatan Goswamipada. In the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair, Apayana Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Budirya Paradukaduki Sanatanastvam Prabhum Ashnayami. Begging in the dust of the lotus feet of these personalities that may even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest itself within our hearts. So yesterday, Srila Gurudev was speaking about giving proper respect to everyone according to their dues, and to not disrespect any living entity, not even an ant. As I was sitting here previously, for my throat, there was a throat drop, and so many ants were coming to it. They had made a nest just outside of the room, and they were coming to it, and I moved the throat drop. So I somehow unwittingly disrespected them, and now they're searching. Many different varieties of ants crawling around everywhere. So, but to disrespect anything, to criticize, to project, to create difficulty for, with intent, this is considered nishid achar, which is not good quality or not good activity. Vaishnavas, generally, their nature is to do welfare work or do good for others. Sometimes it does grate on the nerves of people if someone is singing in the streets. They'll even go out of their way to avoid them because they don't necessarily like it from the external. So we should understand that when we are doing good for people, it is for their atma, not just for their body or for their mind or for the pleasure of their material senses. This is not necessarily doing good for people. This can actually be doing bad. So what is favorable and beneficial to somehow awaken that jiva toward its eternal loving inclination toward Krishna? This is doing good for others. But yet we have heard that katha. What is the nature of a Vaishnava? Once there was a scorpion that was drowning and the Vaishnava was trying to save it. So he'd place his hand underneath to catch it, and in the process of trying to save it, the scorpion would sting him and he would drop the scorpion, but then again he would go back to try to save the drowning scorpion. And another person sitting there was watching. Hey, what are you doing? Why do you keep trying to save that creature? It keeps stinging you. Why don't you just let it go? And he said, that creature is behaving according to its nature. The scorpion's nature is to not trust and to sting. And my nature is to try to save it, even at the cost of pain coming to myself. So we've seen this as an example of many different Vaishnavas' characters. We've seen this especially in one of the most famous personalities, known by many different dialects, Jesus Christo, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, so many different names, Christos. So what was he doing? They were torturing him. They even hung him up on a cross with nails through his hands, and still he was praying for their benefit. He was begging for their benefit. Most of us are not like that. Srila Gurudev was saying just previously that if anyone causes any difficulty to us, then we become angry, we want to destroy them. Today, my brother sent me something from Srila Bhaktivedanta about pratishthasha, the desire for pratishta, name, fame, recognition, adoration, power, position, and all of these kinds of things. Pratishta, asha. Asha means hope or desire for pratishta. And Bhaktivedanta in there was stating that if anyone comes with any criticism, then immediately we feel, hey, who are you to say anything about me? Don't you know who I am? Bhaktivedanta said, then you will know that this is a desire for recognition, that you become upset when someone challenges your position. So this is something for all of us to really look at deeply. Oh, somebody is challenging my position on something. We have all of these things lurking inside. So our Srila Gurudev also warned that we should be very careful for these things. This position, name, fame, power-seeking tendency. Even through the medium of the activities of bhakti especially. Oh, how was my kirtan? Did you like it? Did you like my katha? How was it? This kind of thing. Oh, is everyone pleased? Oh, do they like it? Is it very sweet and soothing to their ears and to their hearts? Will it make them peaceful? Instead of considering what is pleasing to Guru, Gauranga, Radha, and Krishna, to consider what is pleasing to the senses of the people of this world, even the devotees, because most persons, even in coming into the association of Vaishnavas, are still on the path, which means that we still are carrying so much mundane luggage with us. Desire for money, wealth, desire for sense gratification, desire for recognition or adoration, or just even acceptance. So many things like this are lurking. Oh, what about me? This mind and body, this position that I have. I want to be acknowledged and recognized. I want to be known, or anything like that. Or even some people become very lonely and they just want to be loved. And it's natural. Srila Gurudev said, I've read somewhere that humans are social animals, or heard somewhere that they are social animals. If they're not finding love and affection in one society, then naturally they will go to any other society to find love and affection. So love and affection is important, but love and affection should be given properly. If it is focused on Guru Gauranga, Radha and Krishna, then that will be naturally felt by everyone in connection. If you focus on an individual, and all of us know, most of us, how many times we have had close relationships with people, or best friends, spouses, whatever, boyfriends, girlfriends, and then that relationship turns completely sour and even bitter. So all of those relationships in this world naturally will happen to go in that direction because it's not focused properly. Just the same as short-circuiting an electric circuit. You take that electricity and you feed it back into itself, and we see that a lot here in India. Things just, because the wire is disconnected and touched the wrong thing, and your hot water heater blows up or something else happens. But when it is focused on the correct place, when it is going toward Krishna, then everything is flowing properly and smoothly. When we engage that love, that affection, that energy, that attention, not toward Krishna, but toward the senses of the people of this world or to our own senses, then we will see mundane difficulty. And I can see that there are some people who are with us here who have personally experienced these kinds of very heavy difficulties in their life. Somebody you feel you love, and somebody is doing something, they do something wrong, and then they break your faith, they break your heart, they break your trust, and then you become upset and angry, and all kinds of difficulties come in the heart. We've all experienced this. I remember once upon a time in my life when I was a teenager, I was screaming at the top of my lungs into my pillow, like over my face, but because the frustration in my heart was so great, and I wanted to break my guitar and things like that. Yes, I used to have a guitar. So, Srila Gurudev is telling about different kinds of moods. And we were speaking about this desire for pratishta. So yesterday Gurudev was speaking on this, and then we came a little bit further about respecting others. And I believe Madhu Mangal yesterday posted a beautiful quote of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, who was explaining that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Prakashananda Saraswati, who was the leader of 100,000 Mayavadis, he was the guru of 100,000 Mayavadi disciples in Varanasi. There Mahaprabhu offered his pranam and also took a lower position, subservient. And they were looking at him like, what are you doing sitting there? You're a sannyasi, you should sit here. He was sitting near the doorway. And why are you sitting there? You should sit here. Why were they attracted to him? Because he's so beautiful. He was glowing and effulgent. And only once they opened the conversation and started asking questions, because he told them, my Gurudev told me, he thought that I was a first-class fool, so he told me not to worry about studying all of this Vedanta and everything, that I should just concentrate on chanting the holy names of the Lord. And they were like, what? But you're a sannyasi? And then they started asking questions, and then he started giving answers. Because he approached them with this mood of humility, it opened them up to be able to have this proper conversation, by which Prakashananda Saraswati converted to Vaishnavism and all of his 100,000 Mayavadi disciples. So Mahaprabhu was showing that it is also appropriate to give respect even to the Mayavadis, and we heard this yesterday. This does not mean to take their moods and their conceptions. We should understand that it might be necessary to amicably associate with persons that we don't want their conceptions. We might have family members who are mundane, materialist. we have some obligation to associate externally, but not necessarily by heart. But still, we should try not to hurt their hearts. So we heard yesterday that Srimad Narayan told Narada Muni, watch. Narayan became a very, very thin person, darkish complexion, looking like a beggar, and he went to some big, big festival where he was not invited. He had no ticket. It was tickets only, and yet he pushed his way in. He took one leaf and went and sat at the back, waiting to eat something because he was so hungry. And they actually came, took him, and threw him out. And that's where I was mentioning yesterday that we should also be careful for this tendency. We don't know who's who. If Shukadev Goswami came into our vicinity, we might do the same thing to him because of his external appearance. So we should be very careful about disrespecting anyone. An invited guest should be treated as good as Indra, and an uninvited guest should be treated as good as Narayan, because he could have come in this form, and if we weren't sure and we just threw him out, we may have disrespected him. So here it is said, when Gopkumar went to Prayag, he saw different kinds of sacrifice going on there, and everyone, even the crows and monkeys, was given prasad. Krishna also feeds the crows and monkeys. Narad uses the word avidusha. Vidusha means a scholar, and avidusha means one who knows nothing, or a fool. From a foolish person, Bhagavan does not accept puja. Thank you, Madhamango, for reposting it. But if someone has no knowledge, but is faithful, from that person he will accept puja. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mam hi parta vyapashritya yeti syupapayonaya shtriyo vaishyas tata shudras tepi yanti paramgatim. Just in case anyone thinks that only someone who's a Brahmana can attain perfection, the paramgatim, the supreme destination, Krishna says no. Even if you're born in, what does he say? Papayoni. It means from having a sinful birth. Sinful. From that sinful birth, still, if you surrender to Krishna, you can attain the highest destination. And who is the example in our own Gora Leela of someone who may have taken birth in a sinful situation, but yet, because of their nature of attraction to Krishna's holy names, they attained complete perfection. Sri Haridas Thakur. That birth is considered papayona. Papayonaya means of sinful birth. Why? Because in that culture, or lack of, they readily kill and eat their mother in the form of cows. So, because of this, it's considered a sinful birth. Mlechas, Yavanas, most people in Western countries are considered out of caste, meaning out of Varnashram Dharma, because they are doing all kinds of sinful activities, including killing and eating animals and cows. So anyone who takes to the path of loving and serving Krishna, Krishna says, Tepi yanti paramgatim. Whether they're born in a family of sinful persons, whether they be a Vaishya or a Shudra or a man or a woman or whatever, if you surrender to Krishna, then you can attain the highest destination. Tepi yanti paramgatim. So Gurudev here is saying, if one is just a fool, then Bhagavan doesn't accept his puja. But if he doesn't know anything, but yet he has simple faith, then Bhagavan will accept that puja. Here, Vidusha and Avidusha do not refer to whether one has studied the Vedas or not. just because one has studied the Vedas, this does not give them qualification for love for Bhagavan. So many persons who have studied scriptures are some of the biggest demons we've ever heard of. Ravan was expert in all scripture. Hiranyakashipu was also expert in quoting Shastra. There's a whole section in Srimad Bhagavatam where he's telling the best Jeev Tattva you've ever heard. Shri Hiranyakashipur Uvacha. He's preaching to the family of his brother Hiranyaksha after they were killed. That means his own family, but from that side also. No need to cry. Everything happens according to one's karma. The soul is eternal. Really good katha. And yet, he wanted to kill Vishnu, and he was terrorizing all of the devotees of Vishnu and the entire universe. So just because someone is well versed in all Shastra, including so many whose ultimate goal is to claim or is to merge into the white light or to the form of God in essence, they think there's only one thing, and that the form of Krishna or the form of God is actually the function of Maya or illusion. Still, they know so many scriptures. Just knowing so much scripture is not the qualification for bhakti. The qualification for bhakti is the intense, greedy desire to have it, and this can only be had in the association of pure devotees of the Lord. So Srila Gurudev is saying, though having studied the Vedas and other scriptures, one can still be a fool. If after having read the Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and all Puranas, one still has no faith in the deity, he is simply a fool. So many study the scriptures and become well versed in the scriptures. For what purpose? They sit on a big asan. They have millions of followers. They're able to use word jugglery and run circles around people with the knowledge they have attained from scripture. And their only goal, their only point is somehow how to collect the money of their followers and how to enjoy their followers. Bhaktivinoda Thakur warns us about the dharma dvaji. He said the most sinister kind of person who looks very dharmic, who's doing all kinds of religious activities, but who's only scoping their followers out so they can extract money and take their young daughters for their own enjoyment. Dharma dvaji. So this is someone who's, dva means two, means they're two-faced. In the name of religion, doing sinful activities in the background. Be careful for this. Dharma dvaji, he said, is the most dangerous kind. So, if after having read the Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and all the Puranas, one still has no faith in the deity, he is simply a fool. Gurudev is now telling, one day a devotee who came to our temple sat looking at the deities for half an hour. We were wondering if he was experiencing some great sentiment or what he was thinking. After gazing at the deities for so long, he called someone over and said, "From where has this murti come? There is a defect in it." This is avidusha. Even though this man had been a member of our order for at least 40 or 50 years. So he's looking at the deity, only seeing the defect. The pure devotee can recognize Krishna and understand that externally it may look like a defect, but they will understand the real meaning behind. Look at Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. According to the Katha, they were not finished being carved. So from one perspective, you can think they are incomplete. There is a defect. But those who have the eyes to see, those who have the heart, which is seeing the beautiful pastimes of the Lord, we have heard from them, and from Shastra also, that when Krishna and Baladev and Subhadra were hearing the glories of the Brajabasis, and especially the Brajagopis' love and affection for Krishna in separation, that Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra, hearing it, manifested symptoms of transcendental ecstasy. So much so that a smile went from ear to ear, their eyes went wide open, they began melting, their limbs came into their bodies. And then they manifested these forms of Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaram. Narada Muni requested Krishna, please, can this particular form of you experiencing this ecstatic prem, ashtasattvic bhavs, and this form manifesting as a result of that, may this form always be present in this world. So from one perspective, you'll think, oh, well, they walked in early, so Vishwakarma stopped working, so they're not complete. There's some defect. This is one idea, but it's not the idea of the pure devotee. The pure devotee sees their Lord everywhere and understands the deep, deep katha, premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. Because their eyes are smeared with the salve of love, bhakti is manifesting in their heart, prema anjana. Then they see their beloved Lord everywhere. What is it? Yang Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunasvarupam. Oh, they see Shyama Sundar, Krishna everywhere. So this person, Gurudeva, is saying he was there for so long. And yet, after staring for a long time, oh, there's some defect here. He said it was like this. And also our Gurudeva would tell this one very funny story. He said once there was a Baba who was giving katha, Hari Katha. And thousands of people had come to hear him. But there was one person in the audience who he took special notice of, because she was there weeping and weeping as he would speak. So much heartfelt mood was coming from her, and tears were pouring from her eyes. And so he became curious, and he went to her after the katha. What is it that I spoke? Or what happened that made your heart melt in such a way that you are weeping like this? And she said, when you're speaking about Radha, the way your beard was moving as you were speaking, she said, I used to have a goat that I named Radha. And it also had a beard like yours, but it died. So when you would say Radha and your beard would move, then it reminded me of my goat that died. So I'm weeping in separation. But just because someone is manifesting these symptoms externally, it doesn't mean that what is going on internally is what we think it is either. The Gurudev would tell this as well. So, in this case, there's somebody who's a member of our order for at least 40 or 50 years, and yet he's looking at the deity with mundane vision, not understanding that Krishna appears according to the call of his pure devotee. And he's only looking at it in terms of it's marble, or it's metal, or it's white marble, or black marble, or maybe there's a little something of discoloration, or something in that form. Oh, it should be like this, it's made of that material, or anything. Only looking at it from an external point of view, not accepting that Krishna has appeared in this form as Archa Vigraha, only finding some fault. And Gurudev is saying, this is avidusha. So it means this is only a foolish kind of vision, not proper vision. Those that are avidusha don't give proper respect to anyone, not to Vaishnavas and not to others. Bhagavan does not accept puja from such people, but he will accept puja from those who are ignorant but innocent, because they are not offensive. This is a very important point. ignorant but innocent. If one knows better, if one is in a position of responsibility, and still they're doing all of these things, nonsensical activities, there is a much greater reaction versus someone who is ignorant and innocent. If one doesn't know better, then you can accept, okay, you don't know better. This is wrong, let me help you. That's one thing. Okay, this is innocent. Like a child, they don't know. They make a mistake, they pick up something with their left hand. When there's time for prashadam, you say, no, don't touch it with your left hand. But someone who's been a devotee for 30, 40 years, living in the mud, and they start eating off their plate with their left hand, they should know better. Now, this is not the proper example. There are much more severe, extreme examples that we can give. But one that I like is if a child steals candy from a shop. He doesn't know better, he just takes it. And his parents will smack his hand and say, no, don't take that. You should not steal, it is bad. And if you continue to do this, then you will suffer severe consequences in the future. So they teach a lesson, and the child cries, but he learns his lesson. And it's the end of the story. Child has learned, hopefully. If a police officer, whose responsibility it is to teach people how to behave properly in society, how to follow the laws, to do the right thing, if a police officer goes into that same shop and starts stealing things, there will be a different consequence for him. Because he's in the position of responsibility of being a teacher, of doing the right thing, and of teaching everyone else, there's a much greater responsibility. That's why if some young person falls in love and runs off with somebody or something, it's not considered such a big deal. But if a sannyasi or guru, someone in the position of sannyasi or guru, does the same thing, it creates havoc in society. That's why the only prayashchitta for that, atonement for that, is very, very severe. So we can understand that according to one's position in society, there's a greater weight of responsibility. And so when any person who is in a position of great responsibility would fail that responsibility or neglect that responsibility, you would see how heavily Gurudev would deal with it. For anyone who is a little innocent or who didn't know better, then Gurudev would just give some slight correction. But for someone who knows better, who's teaching it, who's learned it, then Gurudev would be very heavy, very fiery. So who is ignorant but innocent, who doesn't know better, and who's just simple-hearted? Bhagavan may accept puja from them because they are not offensive. But Bhagavan does not accept puja from those who don't give proper respect to anyone, not to Vaishnavas and not to others. In Archan, what comes first? What is Srila Prabhupada and Radha London Ishwar? Okay, I'll continue. What comes first in Archan? Offering bhoga. After that, the ghee lamp, then bathing water in a conch shell, followed by cloths, followed by charanamrit, and after this, the chamara. So if someone accidentally changes the sequence of these things and offers the chamara at the wrong time, will the deity reject his puja? This puja he will accept, but those who do their puja with 16 ingredients, but no faith, just so that people will come and give money, where the pujari is thinking that he made 30 rupees this week, and he will make another 30 rupees next week, they are committing aparad. And we see that also here. I don't know, actually, I'll have to state something. When we were young, in the temple, at the time of Srila Prabhupada, and even just after the time of Srila Prabhupada, everything was quite simple. When you would go into the temple, there was a very simple standard. Everyone would offer their pranam, and they would actually do kirtan, and with intent, with consciousness of Krishna, at least trying to somehow awaken a mood in the heart to serve and please Krishna. And then over time, I witnessed within the same temple, one day they put a Garuda Stamba inside the temple. And then a couple years later, they put Vishnu Dutas inside the temple. Then they started doing some other rituals and other rituals and other rituals on top of that. And then in the morning, to wake up Radha and Krishna, they started chanting Narayan Kavacha in the morning. And then we went for Janmashtami, and instead of hearing about Krishna, I swear, we sat there for 4 hours waiting to hear about Krishna, and it was just an auction of Prabhupada's garland. And the devotee who was auctioning it was stating, $1,000. Whoever gives more than that, I swear I will come birth after birth and be their personal servant. And we were sitting there going, oh my God, we came here to hear about Krishna. And it was auctioning off Prabhupada's garland for money on Janmashtami Day. All of these different additions that were being put there, people like rituals, and it inspires them to give more. So what is the purpose of the puja? Is it for pleasing Krishna, or is it to attract people to donate more money? And is it to auction off garlands? So these things I witnessed over the years, how Radha and Krishna used to be in the temple in the back. Then they came to the temple in the front. Then it became more and more ornate, elaborate, and it started becoming a thing. A thing meaning not just for serving Krishna, but for other purposes as well. And so this can be detrimental to one's development of bhakti. It's not wrong to notice these things. It's quite surprising. Whoa, where did that come from? How did that happen? Why did that happen? Oh, this was Radha Krishna temple. Then it became a different, and then a different thing, and a different thing. Over time, it changed from what the spiritual master had given. So, Gurudev is talking about where the pujari will think that he made 30 rupees this week, and he will make another 30 rupees next week. And we find that also in so many temples here and in many other places. The whole purpose of the puja, for the most part, and the extent of the elaborateness of the puja is how to get more money. And then you can see how people who have received the money begin to live. Instead of maintaining a simple livelihood, they start living like kings off the money of the deity. I believe it was in Jagannath Puri, where the king also, there was a king at the time of Bhaktivedanta Thakur who was doing that. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur was in charge, and because he was the highest placed person in the British government at that time, he was what was the position? In Puri. He was like the governor, the chief magistrate, and he was actually in charge of the temple and everything. So he actually put the king in a position where the king had to repay all that he had taken. He had been siphoning money from Jagannath. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur made it that the king had to do 52 offerings every day for Jagannath. And everything had to be in the right timing. He completely streamlined the process. And the king was quite upset, but he made it that you have to serve Thakurji. You've been taking from Thakurji for your own material position, for your own material enjoyment. You should give to Krishna. So from those who are ignorant yet innocent, Bhagavan will always accept puja. Even from a person with selfish desires, sakam, full of so many desires. If that person who is full of so many desires, sakam, is faithful, then after a long time, Bhagavan will still give him bhakti because he has not committed any offense, spoken any blasphemy, or engaged in any violence toward other living entities. In this way, Bhagavan is supremely merciful. But if someone is behaving unfavorably toward others, then in hundreds of thousands of births, he will not get bhakti. This does not mean that if someone is going against the teachings of Gurudev, our Guru Varga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna, that we should just remain silent. Because these are the kind of lines that they will use to try to shut you down. We should try to understand this statement in the context of Trinadapi Sunichena. What is the real meaning of transcendental or Vaisnava humility? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada states that this does not mean to exercise this humility in front of atheists, Mayavadis, antagonists, or those who are opposed to bhakti, aparadhis. He said it means to exercise this humility, feeling oneself lower than a straw in the street and being more tolerant than a tree, at the feet of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. This is the proper placement of that kind of humility. Otherwise, any demonic person, they will try to take advantage of your good nature by doing all kinds of nonsense activities in the name of bhakti, then saying, how dare you say anything about this? And look what Gurudev said. And we've all experienced this as well. So, behaving unfavorably toward others does not mean speaking the truth in order to please Guru, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna. Behaving unfavorably toward others would be doing nonsense activities, twisting things, making lies, and then trying to shut down devotees or those who are aspiring devotees from sharing the truths of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra as they are. So we should understand that the nature of those with demonic tendencies is always how to twist, manipulate, and create divisiveness and problems. So here, when you're seeing these kinds of words, if someone is behaving unfavorably toward others, any person who doesn't like the sound of kirtan might think that you're behaving unfavorably toward them. So they'll say, hey, this is not favorable to me. Oh, right, Gurudev said, let's not behave unfavorably toward others, so we won't do kirtan. No, that's what I mean. Why would we do kirtan? Because it is favorable for their atma, for their soul. We're not trying to please the senses of the people of this world, and we're not trying to compromise on our principles to please the senses of the people of this world. Our principle is how to favorably please Krishna. And if that is really our intention, if that is our hope, our goal, we should try to be gentle with everyone. But if our mood is really how to please Guru, Gauranga, Radha, and Krishna, then even if those people are not yet pleased, still their soul, because its nature is made to love and serve Krishna, the soul inside will begin to become pleased. And whether they realize it or not on the external means gross and subtle bodies made of mind, intelligence, ego, and all of the material elements, all of that external thing gradually will dissipate, and that soul inside will begin to awaken from that favorable thing. So we should be careful about hurting people's hearts, but we should not hesitate to speak the truth. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, if we fail to speak the truth under all circumstances, if we actually don't speak it, because we are afraid that people will become displeased, then we become unfit to be preachers of the truth. We become unfit for Hari Kirtan. If I were to desist from lecturing about the absolute truth, due to being fearful that some listeners may be displeased, then I would be deviating from the path of Vedic truth and accepting the path of untruth. This means we should not compromise. We should not compromise with those who are living in the realm of untruth. We should not compromise our truth. If we compromise, then we are leaving aside the truth and accepting untruth, right? I'm making a compromise. So I'm going to accept 20% of your untruth and put away 20% of my truth. I'm going to reject 20% of my truth to accept 20% of your untruth. Then I would not be fully truthful. I would become one because I'm accepting that mood and that concession. I would become one who is inimical to the Vedas. Because of taking that unfavorable association, I would become an atheist, and I would no longer possess faith in Bhagavan, the very embodiment of truth. So now it seems like we have two very contrasting statements. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is saying we should not compromise for anything, ever. Otherwise, we will become atheistic. And here Gurudev is saying that we should, if someone is behaving unfavorably toward others, then in hundreds of thousands of births he won't get bhakti. So is it unfavorable to not compromise with the truth? That's why these kinds of statements need to be taken in context. It's very easy to throw statements around out of context. But for those who are actually striving for truth, we should understand the words of our acharyas in context of themselves and everything else they have told. And if we cannot reconcile or understand properly, then in context of what all of our Guru Varga and Sadhus and Shastras have told, then we can get a proper holistic perspective. Otherwise, it's so easy. You take one statement out of Shastra, nothing else is necessary, only Harinam. So we will reject everything else and just chant. But why was that verse in the middle of 10,000 other verses? Maybe they're all helping us to understand what real chanting is. Ado Guru Parashra. On your own, you won't be able to serve Krishna. Chanting is serving Krishna. First you have to serve Guru, then Krishna will accept your service. Boom! Suddenly it's a massive, holistic conception. Not just picking and choosing what we like and rejecting what we don't like, but accepting the whole enchilada, as they say in America, accepting the whole subject in its entirety. What Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given, what our Gurudev has given, what Srila Prabhupada has given, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada has given, what our Guru Varga have given, and then we can have a holistic perspective. So just taking this one quote out and putting it in a book with a bunch of similar quotes without actually contextualizing it can create problems, divisiveness, and dissension. So when we see this kind of statement, if someone is behaving unfavorably toward others, then in hundreds of thousands of births you won't get bhakti. So anyone can claim that about anyone. Hey, you're behaving unfavorably toward me. Gurudev said, in hundreds of thousands of births, you're not going to get bhakti. Right? It's so easy to just take it and use it like that. And then you take this one here. But if I were to desist from speaking the truth, if I were to desist from representing my Gurudev, my Guru Varga, my Shastra in its entirety, and to compromise that truth, then I would lose everything. Here he's saying you will also not get bhakti. you will become atheistic and you would no longer possess faith in Bhagavan. So how do you reconcile these two? This is essential for us as aspiring devotees or as devotees to reconcile when any statements seem to contradict one another. And if we cannot reconcile these contradictory statements within the teachings of that one singular Acharya, then Srila Gurudev said, then we must go to our Purva Acharyas, our previous Acharyas, and see their holistic meanings. If we only read the few quotes that are posted on Facebook, we might not get a holistic understanding of what our Guru Varga are giving. They give so much. So there's a holistic conception. And ultimately, that holistic conception will culminate in being able to have darshan, or understand the absolute truth. Not completely, because it is absolute and infinite, but still having access to, being connected with, in samadhi, equal consciousness with that absolute truth. And then anything which comes through will be also transcendental or absolute, or Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration. So this point is extremely essential for us to take into consideration so that we don't make the mistake of under-adherence or over-adherence to the rules and regulations of Shastra. Rupa Goswami places that within the category of what is detrimental for bhakti. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangas chalodyamcha shagbir bhaktir vinashyati. In Srila Bhagavatamrita, 2nd verse, there it says niyama agraha. Niyamagraha is a conjugation of two words, and it can go this way or that way. Niyama agraha and niyama agraha. Both come together in one form as niyamagraha. So one means under adherence to the rules and regulations of scriptures, and the other one means over adherence. So to come to a proper understanding, this must be done under the guidance of Guru and Sadhu, how to understand scripture properly. They are the 2 feet of that very strong 3-footed process, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, our system of checks and balances. So by Guru and Sadhu, we can understand Shastra. And Guru and Sadhu are the perfect representatives of Shastra. The Shastra is known as Bhagavat, and also Guru and Sadhu are known as the person Bhagavat. Let me just see here. Okay. Therefore, according to one's own natural proclivity, he should do everything for the service of Bhagavan. Then he, Bhagavan, will be pleased. The spiritual master will be pleased. All Vaishnavas will be pleased. And everything will be correct. So Gurudev is answering what we just discussed before in this next paragraph. Then everything will be correct. Remember that it is not for our own pleasure that we are doing everything, but for the pleasure of our Gurudev. Only then is it fully correct. So this is actually a reference to that verse in Bhagavatam, Yata taror mula nishechanena tirtyanti tatskanda bhajopashaka pranupaharash tataiva sarvahanam achyutejya. By watering the root of the tree, automatically the entire tree is nourished and satisfied. By giving food into your mouth and going into your stomach, by digesting that food, then automatically the entire body is nourished. In the same way, when one gives their love and affection to Krishna, automatically everything in Krishna's creation receives that love properly. It is properly distributed. If we try to give it here, but not toward Krishna, then this one won't feel that they're receiving it properly. But like our 6 Goswamis, Dhira dhira janapriyo priyakaro nirmatsaro pujito. Because they're always completely dedicated to serving the lotus feet of Krishna, and they're completely without any envy toward anyone, because they're giving their love exclusively to Krishna, then everyone feels that love and affection. This is the nature of loving Krishna, and therefore they were dear to the dhir and the adhir, those who are sober and those who were not sober, means the devotees, the honest persons, those in the mode of goodness, and also those who are ignorant and fools and rough people, dacoits and gundas and mafiosos and whoever. Everyone had respect and affection for them because they were one pointed toward Krishna. And as we just mentioned, Gurudev just confirmed here that it is not for our pleasure that we're doing anything or everything, but for the pleasure of our Gurudev. Only then is it fully correct. And that's what I told the other day, maybe yesterday. Srila Gurudev asked, should we try to please all Vaishnavas in order that Gurudev is served? Or should we try to please Gurudev? And his own answer to that is, you can never please everyone individually. You will fail, guaranteed, if you try to please everyone. You should try to please Gurudev. Then automatically everything is correct and everything is okay. So Gurudev is the first form of Krishna in our lives. Guru Krishna. When we cry and pray to Krishna, please hear my prayer. I'm here in this material world, in this blazing forest fire, trying to search for answers. I don't even know who I am. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm suffering. I don't know what the truth is. What is my purpose? What is my goal? Help me. With sincerity, crying out to Krishna. Krishna's heart melts with that sincere call. And that melted heart takes a form. The form of Krishna's compassion and mercy, otherwise known in Sanskrit as Krishna Kripa Shri Murti, or in short, Guru, Shri Guru. Guru is the form, the condensed form of Krishna's mercy and compassion. Therefore, first and foremost, as our Srila Gurudev said, all of the ideas or ideals that we apply to bhakti, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttama. First and foremost, we must apply at the lotus feet of Shri Guru. Anukulyena Guru Krishna anushilanam. And from there, he will purify it, make it qualified, and then offer that, the essence of it, to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So first he was saying that we should do everything for the service of Bhagavan. When he will be pleased, the spiritual master will be pleased, all Vaishnavas will be pleased, and everything will be correct. But we should do it for the pleasure of our Gurudev, only then is it fully correct. So now Gurudev is saying for Bhagavan, but we have not yet really realized our relationship with Bhagavan. How does our heart get offered to Bhagavan? Through the same medium that Bhagavan connects to us, that transparent via medium. That transparent medium is Shri Guru. Shri Guru. Through that medium, our love, our affection, our heart, everything is transmitted to Bhagavan. And through that same medium, which is transparent, going both ways, not like one of those one-way mirrors, transparent both ways, Srila Gurudeva Maharaj said, everything Krishna wants to tell you, he tells you through the mouth of your Gurudev. So we should understand that Guru is that representative of Krishna, who is sharing with us what Krishna wants to tell us. And what we want to share to Krishna also, we have to first go through Gurudev, and Gurudev will transmit that. We shouldn't think of Gurudev as an obstacle. Rather, we should think of Gurudev as the adapter, which makes this connection possible. I've told it before, but here in India, they've got very interesting plugs with 3 round holes and big. And in America, they have 2 little slots and maybe a round hole at the bottom. So our American plugs don't fit into our Indian sockets, and the Indian ones don't fit into the American sockets. And also there's a difference in the amount of electricity. Here you have 220 volts, there you have 110.
You're right at the time, right?
So, no. So two things are necessary. One, there needs to be an adapter, something that will enable this to connect to this. And also a transformer, something that will translate this high power into something which is low power. So I'm going to take the position of low power, and Krishna is, of course, in the position of high power, unlimited power. So he is Vibhum, unlimited power. We are Vibhinangsa, very extremely infinitesimal power. There's still potency there, but so small. How do you translate that to this? Sri Guru. Sri Guru takes what Krishna is giving and gives it to us in a way that we can digest it. I believe I recently read that from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. I think it's in that one where he's mentioning the perpetual tutelage. We must be in perpetual tutelage. So, let me just check really quick here. Because timing is coming to the end. See? Wow, it's very slow. Kishori Mohan. There we are. There, okay. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, this thing is entitled, I entitled it, Too Small a Particle. He says, when the divinity manifests to the pure receptive spiritual essence of the disciple, it is embodied as the Guru. That means when the Supreme Lord manifests to our spiritual inclination, that divinity is embodied, means takes a form as Sri Guru. The Guru is the real and original recipient of the truth. He communicates his knowledge to the disciple, who is too small a particle to receive the whole truth himself. For us to think that we can even absorb that is actually quite foolish. As Bhaktivedanta Thakur said in the second verse of Krishna Samhita, that it is foolish to think that a particle, an infinitesimal particle like myself, can absorb the ocean of the absolute truth. One particle of dust cannot absorb the ocean. It can only absorb what it is capable of absorbing until it's maxed out, and then it can't absorb more than that. So here he's saying, he's too small a particle to receive the whole truth himself. Thus, the disciple is enabled to receive the truth through the power of the Guru. The Guru, as it were, takes the disciple by the hand and guides his every step on the plane of the Absolute. It is perpetual tutelage on the part of the disciple. Perpetual tutelage means Guru is always in the position of escorting us and helping us and encouraging us and teaching us and guiding us, and we're always in the position of being under their guidance and discipline. In another place, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained that there is an eternally impassable line of demarcation between those who are the saviors and those who are the saved. And only those who have truly been saved can actually understand that. So we're dependent upon that mercy from up above. So Gurudeva is saying that if it is for the pleasure of Bhagavan and the pleasure of Gurudev, then everything will be properly adjusted. Then it will be correct. Gurudev says this subject is very important, and especially for a sadhaka, it is necessary to hear. That is for all of us aspiring for progression on the path of bhakti. We may be eager to hear talks about rasa and lila, but we may not be so eager to hear about this subject. These points are essential to know because they are at the very root of sadhana bhajan. If disregarding them we commit aparad, we will leave the path of bhakti and our lives will be useless. Instead, we can prepare our hearts for serving the deity, the Vaishnavas, and the spiritual master in the correct way, and thereby achieve success in our sadhana. So, what's the time now? Ooh, it's getting very late. Okay. So this is a very important culmination of what Srila Gurudev has been teaching in this chapter 11. That if we actually want to progress properly, then this is also essential for us to hear. If we're just trying to jump to the top of the tree and hear about ras and lila and all of these things, but not taking interest in learning how to actually move properly from here forward, then we can actually turn it into a very detrimental thing. It can become sahajya.
Actually, somebody recently said concerning us, we're not interested in basically the origin of the soul or proper days of Ekadashi or carrots. We just want nice kirtan and nice prasadam.
With our friends.
With our friends. And I was thinking about that a lot recently. And it may be, yeah, carrots aren't a big deal. It may be to somebody. But when it comes to something like Ekadashi, when it comes to Jiv Tattva, the truth of the Jiva, of us, these are important topics. If we neglect Ekadashi, if we even miss the paran, the time for breaking our fast, we lose it. And how dear is Ekadashi? How beautiful and hopeful is that day that Krishna manifests as. So these things are actually very, very important for us. Some people might think that it's nitpicky or it's foolish. We should just chant and eat prasadam and be happy. And that's true too. That should automatically be a byproduct of it. Like Kishori Mohan Prabhu said yesterday, if you're in love with someone, you'll want to know the color of their toothbrush. You'll want to know everything about them. Oh, what did Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? He's also my beloved. What did he say there? What did he do? This is part of the process. To understand everything in connection with Krishna. And that first and foremost connection in our lives is Guru. And so we never stay at the same place. Our Gurudev used to say that, not that Srila Prabhupada didn't give everything. He would say he gave everything, but it's locked. It's under lock and key. Like Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't see Srimati Radhika's name in every single verse and the hellish planets and all of that. But our Guru Varg, they see it. They can show us this. So it's extremely important for us to understand what he said. When Guru manifests, he is the mouthpiece of Krishna for us in our lives. What those disciples of Srila Prabhupada needed at that time, that's what he gave. But 30 years later, 25 years later, our Gurudev came and he installed some more. Nothing different, but he opened up that treasure and he started to show so many different things. Oh, you don't only have to chant 16. You can chant more. You should chant like 64 and you should chant more and more. Gurudev would encourage like this. So it's very important, these things, to not have this spiritual sweet tooth. It means always running and searching for that sweetness where I'm tasting something. But when we are feeling dry, when we are feeling that there's nothing coming, but yet we persevere, and we continue and we hold on tight to the moods, the conceptions, and the words of our gurus and our Guru Varg, then they see, oh, look at this. They're not crying, they're not feeling anything. It's like eating sand for them. They're tasting the jaundice of Harinam, and yet they're continuing the medicine. Then mercy flows. Then they see, oh, it's not just like a fair weather friend. You know what a fair weather friend is? When everything is good and happy, you have good friends all around you. But when the test comes, when the world is against them, are you with the world or are you with them? So we're not fair weather bhaktas. When it's happy, when it's enjoyable, when I'm tasting honey, then I'm a devotee. Otherwise, I'll turn to Maya. So this time of dryness, or the time of learning tattva siddhanta, this is actually nectar because it's in direct connection with Krishna and how to achieve our ultimate necessity, which is bhakti bhav and prem. So it's very important, and Gurudev is stressing this. And we know our Gurudev was criticized for giving the most high, like Rupa Goswami, giving. But yet, Gurudev never just said, we are not walking on the path also of following, of rules and regulations to define that path of Rag Marg. Vaidhi is also there. Learning is there. Understanding is there. Making these things part of our Atma. How? By hearing, by chanting, by remembering, by studying, by praying. And then really, tears will come, realization will come, and we'll understand what our gurus have given us. So Gurudev used to relish these topics. So important.
All of our acharyas relished them, and they would spend countless hours sharing them with us. And Shastra does the same, doesn't it? You know, otherwise you would just throw out the first 9 cantos of Bhagavatam and the last 2. That would be aparad. So all of what Krishna gave in Bhagavad Gita, all of Bhagavatam, all of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's so much there about sadhana bhakti.
And if all of it is for Krishna's pleasure, for Guru's pleasure, then automatically there will be success. Automatically. But if we're just chanting and eating for ourselves to have a good community and friendship, this will not lead us to success. If there is sincerity in our heart, then Paramatma will help. But if we only want to neglect those things, which are like, one time Madhu Mangal, he was our drummer for some time. We were trying to discuss these types of things with these devotees. And then he raised the point, he said, you know, chocolate and candy and all of that is really good, but sometimes you just need broccoli. He was like, you need those staple things. It's nice to have chocolate and ice cream, but without all of those vegetables and all of those necessities, we'll die. We'll drown in that sweetness because it won't sustain us. The foundation is necessary to keep us healthy. So it was a really important thing that he taught me at that time, that sometimes we just need broccoli.
And you can get it now in Loy Bazaar. I know it was very difficult up until about a year ago, but now we can get it. So, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari.
Fair weather friend, yes, it means like when it's really nice outside and it's good weather, everyone is joyful and happy. And then when it's dark and it's gloomy and it's snowing and it's cold and damp, then that's not very happy. So we run from that. So a fair weather friend is like that. When everything is good, I'm your friend. When everything is bad, I've never met you.
You're on your own.
Who are you again?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Now that's just
this time though I'll blame it on Sudevi because she came and she shared so much good inspiration with us. So thank you so much for being with us this evening and for giving us the opportunity to remember and reflect upon the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, and really actually quite deep subject matters, and also for you every day giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. For that, we are indebted to each and every one of you. We look forward to being with you tomorrow. We're almost finished with this book. We're at the beginning of, I think, the last chapter. So we're very excited to continue with this going beyond Vaikuntha, and we will go on to Sri Damodarashtakam.
Jai.
See you tomorrow. Dandavat
Dandavat
pranam. Hare Krishna.
We sing Govinda Damodar Dadama Taveti because that was what our Gurudev would sing, especially every time he would enter his room, and then he would end with Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. So
It brings us
to our Gurudev.
Yes, very close in remembrance of our Gurudev.
All right, I see everybody likes when we talk about Cheetos and broccoli, so we'll have to bring more veggies up.
And sweets.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki
Jai.
Jai. Sachinandan Gaura Hari
Ki
ki
Jai.
Jai.